We're here on Radio Row with Samoa Joe, who's celebrating St. Patrick's Day.
I am.
A little late, but I'm glad you're doing it.
Hey, listen, I really haven't stopped celebrating it. That's really worked out.
One non-stop party for about 2 weeks now, right?
Yeah.
A lot of time. So
At the end of the day, but yeah.
So we can no longer call you NXT superstar, WWE superstar. Samoa
Yes.
Joe now.
Yes. Things have changed.
Things have changed just a little bit since
Let's
last year.
change the touch. It's worked out well.
It has.
Yeah.
And I think one of the great things that people talk about when you make a debut with WWE, you want to do something that has some impact.
Yeah.
And yeah, you definitely did that.
Oh, absolutely. I showed up and I wrecked Seth Rollins and fierce. Really changed the landscape of everything. Yeah, I'm kind of proud of myself. Thanks, man. I really am.
You are.
How does it feel to come up to the what they call the main roster and have that reception and have the fans take to you so quickly? We know you're a legend in the business, and we know you've been around and been everywhere.
God, you're
but
good.
Samoa Joe.
Spot on analysis.
But to come out on Monday Night Raw that
Yeah.
first week and get that reaction from the fans still has to be something special.
Absolutely. I think, like I said, taking the time and kind of the time that I put in and have it kind of translate over to what I do now. It's both humbling and rewarding at the same time. So, being a Raw superstar now and what we've done so far, it's been a fun process.
Did you have a timeline in mind for saying, I want to be at this point at this time, or was it just play it by ear?
You know what? I think my timeline was more along. I wanted the stage to be right, and I wanted things to be. Timing's everything of many things in life, and especially in this industry. So, I wanted the table to be set, and I wanted us to go forward with a plan and kind of direction. And when it was the right time, it was the right time. So I felt we timed it right, and it's gone really, really well. And also, I was staunchly committed to helping NXT grow as a brand and become more than it is. So I mean, it was. It was a process, but I think we accomplished a lot of that, and the natural move to Raw or SmackDown was in the cards, and I'm on Raw now.
What is the difference, if you could put it into just a few words or a sentence, between NXT and Raw when it comes to fan reactions, when it comes to the experience for the performers?
I think the biggest difference between NXT and Raw is that NXT has a very intimate fan base almost, where they're very involved with the product just because you have to consume it, you have to go seek it out. It's not readily available.
Right.
And then Raw, definitely has a broader appeal among your more casual fan base. So you have to make very, very broad statements in order to kind of get headway in a Raw or a SmackDown environment, comparatively speaking to an NXT environment where fans are a bit more invested because they got the network and they're very much into seeing the new faces kind of come onto the scene and following them from their start to where they eventually go. So I think that's the biggest difference.
Yeah. Awesome. Here with Samoa Joe on Radio Row. So let's talk about you and Seth, because you mentioned the interplay with you guys. Mm-hmm. So you hurt the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, you really put a hurting on him.
Ooh, it was rough.
So when that happened, was it instant that you knew that something happened, or was it more Seth told you something happened?
I think it was kind of a combination of both. So, it's like right when it went down, I knew, hey, things aren't probably as kosher as they should be, and we went from there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you do in that moment, or how do you react to something like that? Because it's not like you can just stop. You're right in the middle of the ring, on the show.
You stay calm and let it play out. I mean, that's all you can really do.
And that's probably something that comes from experience, I would guess.
Yeah. I mean, if a lot of times you can exacerbate a situation by panicking and trying to make weird adjustments because there's as much shock that goes along with an injury as with the initial the initial injury. So it's really about kind of calming down the situation and getting a bearing on everything.
When you were watching everything from NXT and you're kind of seeing the landscape when it comes to Raw and SmackDown, did you have any kind of preference on which brand you went to or where you thought you might fit in better?
Not really. I mean, because both brands kind of presented a lot of opportunities in the way of opponents and potential matchups in the future. I think the split in general has been pretty even as far as guys that I really want to work with. So for me, it was kind of a wide open playing field.
Is there anybody on SmackDown that you could see yourself really wanting to work with over the next year if you're given the chance?
Absolutely. I think AJ goes without saying. I think we've probably had our battles in the past,
Sure.
and it'd be good to revisit that. Bray, Randy. It's a pretty. I mean, I can sit here and name off the majority of the roster.
Can you tell us?
It's more like I would name a ton of people, and then the people I leave out would be like, "Oh, what's up with that, man?"
Right.
Yeah.
And the thing you notice too is when you were talking about the potential matchups, the different guys you can get in the ring with, you get excited about that. I mean, I can just see the reaction on your face. And you're even talking about guys that could be a year, 2 years down the line. You don't even know.
Absolutely.
And you've got plenty of people still on Raw.
And I think, a ton of people on Raw too. And I think that's kind of the major thing is that. I think now, if you've kind of been along for the journey, you're getting these matchups that you never thought you'd see. You never thought you'd see an AJ Styles, Chris Jericho.
Right.
You never thought you'd see a Samoa Joe, against anybody in the WWE that you are now. So, it's kind of like living out this process, and these long-awaited fan matchups that people have wanted to see for years, and now they're kind of finally coming to fruition. So, yeah, I'm definitely excited about it. I mean, it's new frontier. It's new top-level performers that you get to be in the ring with. So, I'm very much looking forward to it.
Fans can kind of envision you fighting maybe John Cena, Brock Lesnar, I've heard is a dream match potential.
Yeah.
But if you could, what would a match or a feud between Samoa Joe and somebody like The Miz look like?
You know what? I think very compelling.
Uh-huh.
It's funny. The more I watch The Miz and the more I see what he does in the ring, I realize that he's kind of one of those unsung talents.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And he really is. It's funny because he's been here for a long time, and he's performed. He's very, very stringent. I mean, he holds himself to a very, very high standard personally, and so he's able to garner a very polarizing reaction from an audience, which I think is something that's highly underrated. If you feel a certain way about him, like many do, then it's pretty nuts.
That strong emotion is a very real time,
and it's a rare quality that a lot of guys really don't possess, and he definitely does. So I mean, I think it would be very, very interesting for me and The Miz locked up.
Sure. And we see the attention level now that NXT is getting, and you coming from there, some other guys as well. I think it allows a lot of the WWE fan base to get to know the talent because maybe they're not watching some other things like we are.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to something like that, how much big of a reaction, or what do you think the reaction would be for, say, when Shinsuke Nakamura, whenever that time comes, he comes on the main roster?
I think it'd be huge. I mean, obviously, Shinsuke's a superstar in the in the truest sense. And I think that's kind of the benefit of NXT in general is that alongside these newer talents that are kind of coming from scratch and making a name for themselves, you're allowing the WWE universe to be introduced to really seasoned, tremendous, awesome top level performers, and for them getting a chance to see these guys and get acclimatized to them and kind of follow their journey through the WWE from NXT to wherever they end up. So I think it's really imperative. Especially now with with all the future talent that we have coming up, all the guys you're going to be seeing, new faces that you will inevitably be seeing relatively soon, I would wager.
Yeah.
That the fans got to have a little bit of time put in with them and a little bit of investment in their journey in the WWE.
And I think what is got to excite a lot of people right now, and especially you, is you're just getting started. And I think this audience is still getting to know Samoa Joe.
They are, and it's. It'll be a very it'll be a longer process than I think a lot of hardcore fans think because obviously these people know me and they've seen my work in the past, so I'm looking forward to the coming weeks and kind of peeling away the layers.
What's it going to be like on Raw on Monday when that smart crowd chants Joe is going to kill you for the first time in the WWE?
It'll be like every other arena that's done it. They're right, and I look forward to meeting expectations.
Can I ask you, so you're here with us this morning, wearing your St. Patrick's Day attire, and we kind of have a very chill demeanor going on, but when you burst through those curtains every Monday night, you were just out there, like you said, to kill somebody. What do you listen to in the back? What do you have on your Beats by Dre that you're jamming out to get yourself in that right mindset to come out there and murder somebody?
Well, I usually I'm very calm now because I bottle all my rage. Big bottler. God, I put my feelings away in the wrongest places. And then I usually unleash them at the end of the night. No,
that's healthy, right? That's the healthy way to do it.
Totally healthy. You know what? It's funny. I listen to a lot of, I'm kind of, I guess, when it comes to the pump up music, it's mostly like music that was kind of regional to me.
Sure.
So it's a lot of Southern California punk, a lot of like really gritty Southern California hip hop. Usually like B-sides, nothing really catchy or or
stuff people wouldn't be as familiar with. From
definitely
that area
not.
specifically. Gotcha.
It's those tracks that really never get listened to unless you're playing the album all the way through. So those are like my two go-tos, and Rage Against the Machine's a good pump up. Just stuff like that. Black Flag, really just things that kind of elicit a feeling, get you angry.
Sure. When your music hits and you come out, I always call it the swag walk, because I don't think a lot of people. There's got to be a certain demeanor to come out to that music.
Yeah, every ass whooping should be preceded by a good, healthy jaunt down to the actual fight. So I'm a big proponent of that.
Last thing, so with WrestleMania coming up on Sunday, you are not announced for a match. So what should we expect from Samoa Joe at WrestleMania?
So I was telling some other people earlier that, I find there's like two types of people in the world. There are those who wonder and those who know. Somebody who wonders is somebody who's like, gee, I wonder when somebody's going to get their ass kicked. And then there's somebody who's like, hey, Samoa Joe's at WrestleMania. I know somebody's going to get their ass kicked.
Right.
So, that's just really up for you to decide whether you want to be a wanderer or a knower.
Oh, that's deep.
Yes, it is.
That's deep.
Yeah, I try.
Samoa Joe.
The mic? So deep.
That's why I like it from Joe. It goes deep with everybody. So Samoa Joe here at Radio Row.
We don't hang out that much. Just
get your hand off my leg.